Welcome to your exam revision masterclass for Chapter 3. I am so excited to guide you through this today because we're going to break down production and costs so clearly that you'll be totally ready to ace your test. We're skipping the fluff and diving straight into the exact concepts that always show up on exams. So let's start with a massive real-world question. Imagine you're running a business. Obviously, you want to make as much money as possible, right? But how do you decide exactly how many items to make to get the absolute maximum profit without wasting resources? Well, that's exactly the puzzle this chapter is going to help us solve. Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, an intro to the production function. Second, short versus long run. Third, measuring product with TP, AP, and MP. Fourth, the law of variable proportions. Fifth, returns to scale and costs. And sixth, a quick recap and exam tips. Let's get into it. Section 1, Intro to Production Function. All right, so look at the diagram on your screen. This beautifully illustrates the absolute basics of production. It's really just the process of taking inputs and transforming them into an output. Think of a tailor, right? They use inputs like cloth, thread, a sewing machine, and their own labor, and they transform all of that into an output, a brand new shirt. Every business does this, whether they're building cars, growing wheat, or giving rickshaw rides. Now grab a pen because this is huge for your exams. The production function is the exact mathematical relationship showing the maximum output you can get from your inputs, assuming you're using them efficiently with current technology. We literally write it as Q equals F of L and K. That just means your total quantity, Q, is a function of your labor, L, and capital, K. Section 2, Short Run versus Long Run. Okay. Here is a crucial point about how economists define time. It's actually not about days or months at all. In the short run, you are stuck with at least one fixed factor. For example, a farmer might be able to hire more workers, which is a variable factor, but they can't just magically buy more land overnight. The land is fixed. In the long run, however, you have the flexibility to change absolutely everything. All factors become variable. So remember this distinction. Fixed factors mean short run, all variable means long run. Section 3. Measuring product, TP, AP, and MP. First up is total product, or TP. Let's understand this simply. It is exactly what it sounds like. It's the total overall amount of goods your workers produce when you hold your machinery or land constant and just add more variable inputs like labor. Next, we've got two formulas you absolutely have to memorize. Average product, or AP, is your total output divided by the number of workers. Basically, it's what each worker is making on average. Then there's marginal product, or MP, which is the extra output you get by adding just one more worker to the mix. Let's see how these numbers actually tell a story. Look at the table. With capital fixed at 4, when we have one worker, total product is 10. But watch what happens when we hire a second worker. The total product jumps to 24. That means that second worker added 14 extra units. That 14 is your marginal product. See how that works? Section 4, Law of Variable Proportions. I need your full attention here, because this is the most frequently tested concept in the entire chapter. Imagine this situation. A farmer has 4 hectares of land. If they work it entirely alone, it's way too much land for one person. So they hire a worker. That first worker adds a ton of value, so marginal product goes up. But what if they hire 10 workers? Suddenly, the farm gets super crowded. There just isn't enough fixed land for everyone to work efficiently. Because of this crowding, the extra output, the marginal product brought in by the newest workers, eventually begins to fall. And that is the law of variable proportions in a nutshell. And guys, here is pure exam gold. When you have to draw these curves, remember this unbreakable rule. The marginal product curve always cuts the average product curve from above exactly at AP's highest maximum point. No exceptions. If AP is rising, MP is above it. If AP is falling, MP is below it. Get this right in your diagrams and your examiner will absolutely love you. Section 5, Returns to Scale and Costs. So what happens in the long run when we aren't restricted by fixed factors? Well, we can scale everything up. If you double all your inputs, like twice the land, twice the workers, and your output more than doubles, you're experiencing increasing returns to scale, or IRS. But if you double all your inputs and your output increases, but it less than doubles, you face decreasing returns to scale. It's just simple proportional math. Of course, all these inputs cost money, right? Because firms are smart and want to maximize profit, they'll always look for the absolute least expensive combination of inputs to produce their desired output. This relationship, finding the cheapest way to make a certain amount of goods, given the prices of factors and technology, is known as the cost function. And to figure out exactly how much each single item is costing you to make on average in the short run, you use this formula. Short run average cost equals your total cost divided by the quantity you produced. It's a fundamental formula to keep in your back pocket. Section 6. Quick recap and exam tips. We've covered some incredible ground today, so let's tie it all together. Here's your entire chapter summarized. Production is just inputs to outputs. The short run is defined by having fixed factors, while the long run means everything is variable. We measure our success using total, average, and marginal product. Don't forget the crowded farm analogy for the law of variable proportions. Eventually, marginal product has to fall. And finally, in the long run, we scale up, looking at increasing, constant, or decreasing returns to scale. As for your exam tips, keep these top of mind. Explicitly practice drawing those curves. Draw the MP curve cutting the AP curve right at its peak. When asked to define the short run, you must mention fixed factors. Don't start talking about days or months. And lock those simple division formulas for average product and short run average cost into your memory. You've completely got this. You now have all the logical tools, the analogies, and the formulas you need. Grab your notebook, review these exact concepts we just went through, practice those diagrams, and you are going to absolutely crush this exam. Happy studying, and I'll see you in the next explainer.